Hello, my friends. This is Glynn B. Allen Sr., and I'm here today to share with you what I like to call the master class. Now, why did I entitle it that? Because the reason that I did is because I want you to learn how to master life with this class. What I've discovered is if you don't master life, life will master you. So today, let's get started with another episode of Master Class with Glynn B. Allen. Now, my title is Bishop, of course, and I like to broaden my horizon, not just be a bishop, but to be a life coach. And for someone else, I just like to be an impactor. We got a lot of people out there that are influencers, but they're not making impact. My desire is that I will impact your life in a way that will change it forever. So today, let's get started with another class. And I'd like to talk to you today about it's time to change. And many of us, we really realize that, but we find it very difficult to do so. We find it very difficult to make the adjustments in life, and we find it very difficult to adapt to the seasons that we're in. And I chose to use a foundational Bible verse. It's a little lengthy, so bear with me today. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 8. It says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to uproot, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to tear down, and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. And I want to talk to you today about the importance of change, because with every season that you will encounter, what I want you to know is it comes with a requirement to change. One season changes or switches over, or it shifts. So many of us stay right in the position that we've been in an old season. An old season activity and behavior won't fit into the season that you're in. So today, I want you to hear me today, because it's so important for you to change with every season and time that you encounter. Why is that important? Because so many of us will have bad practices, well, not just bad practices, but some good practices, and they were good for the place that you were in before, but they're not good for where you are now. So you got to be able to shift, make the change that is necessary. And that's a big challenge for life, is changing and not remaining in yesterday. Today demands something different. Now, many of us, we have prayed and God has shifted the season, shifted the time that you are living in. Things have moved on, but you are stuck in a bad place. In 1 Chronicles, let's go there real quick, in chapter 12 and verse 32. It says, from Issachar, men whom understood the times. They understood the times. They had discernment of the time, and they knew what Israel should do. They not only discerned the time that they were in, but they knew what they should do in those times. Many of us, we know the season that we're in, but we don't know what to do to make that season really come to light, to bring it to fruition, because we only have in our minds the thoughts of what we did in the last season. Think about it like this. If you are an employee somewhere and God blesses you to become an entrepreneur, you know there's a great difference between employment and entrepreneurship. Many of us, we will enter into entrepreneurship with an employee mind, and that is very carelessly done sometimes. We don't do it with any kind of urgency, or the responsibility level changes. So what I'm trying to get you to see is with every level comes some changes. It goes as simple as this. If you are living in an apartment and then you decide to buy a home, well, you got to change your mindset as it relates to living in a home, because a home demands something else. There's a level of care. That's your responsibility. There are things that you have to do that are different. So you may discern the season that you're in, but you may not know what you need to do in that season. So one of the first things you got to do is make up your mind that I must change with every season. I cannot remain where I am. I can't get stuck in a place of yesterday. And discerning the season without recognizing what changes are needed will stagnate your progress. Sometimes you walk into a new season, and I use different analogies to prove this, but so many people, they have been praying for marriage, and they've been praying for a mate, they've been praying for a wife or a husband, but you have not learned how to walk into the season with changes. You're still treating your husband like you treated your boyfriend, or wife like you treated a casual girlfriend. Every level of relationship demands change. When you pray about something and God brings it to fruition, or brings it to your reality, or it becomes something that materializes, you got to be willing to change. God, what do I need to do in this season that's different than the last season? I got to be willing to change. This is so important because so many people are stuck in a day that's gone by. And the season that you are stuck in is immobilizing your progress. You are immobilized. You're stuck somewhere. You can't move forward. And you find yourself in cycles because you can't change. That's exactly what happens when you are in a place where you cannot change, and you can't change your mindset. You can't change your actions. You can't change your responses. You can't change anything. You find yourself in a cycle, a perpetual cycle, going around and around, never finding a place to land. You never find a place to be happy. And progress is prohibited because you don't know how to make the necessary changes. So one of the prayers that we got to pray is, Lord, help me to change with every season. Don't allow me just to know the season I'm in, but give me the ability, give me the anointing, give me the power to make positive changes for every season that I encounter. This is so important to your life today. As we master life, you've got to master your changes, and don't be afraid of changes. Changes are necessary. One of the most horrific things that I can hear come out of someone's mouth is, I've always done it like this. Well, if you've always done something like this, you've always been this way. It's telling me that you have never allowed yourself to grow. You didn't allow yourself to move. You didn't allow yourself to get better. If you've always been like this, you've always been where you are. You cannot move. You cannot progress. Yes, you may be making more money. You may be living in a bigger house. You may be driving a fancier car, and even involved in greater circles. But if you've always been the way that you are and there's been no changes, then guess what? You're stuck in a place of no mobility. You got to get ready now to change. God is requiring, and you should require from yourself, to go higher. You say this in the old church, that every round goes higher and higher. And this is not the round that's going higher, but I go higher in my thinking, my actions, my responses, the way I treat people. Everything goes higher. There are several places that you may experience in life that make you that you got to make sure that you change in. One of the first places that most of us kind of land in life, there's a place for all of us. If you've not been there, then you haven't learned a very valuable lesson. A valuable lesson is contained in this moment called survival. When you get in a place called survival, I've been there before, that I was surviving. What does that mean? I'm keeping myself right above water. I'm in a place where I'm making it. And that's a good place, man. Some of us you're looking at me today. You have survived. You have survived some horrific moments, some terrible moments, some painful moments, some moments that you had to survive through. And I want to take time and applaud you for your survival. But that's not the label that you must wear for the rest of your life. The label of survivor is not your permanent label. You have to move on from being permanently identified as a survivor. If you are stuck and unwilling to change from survival mode, you'll always be surviving, just making it. You'll be rehashing, rethinking, and reliving the thing that you have almost or possibly survived. You already come out of it, but you're in survival mode. So every time you announce that I am a survivor, you're rehashing it, you're reliving it. Now, I said this a few weeks ago to a group of people. You can tell your story, but never relive it. Listen, I am a survivor, but now I've decided to move on from a place called survival to success. I'm a success. Why am I a success? Because all the things that were meant to destroy me, things that were meant to slow me down, things that were meant to prohibit me from going any further, things that were meant for evil, God has turned those things into good. I will not announce to you another time that I'm a survivor. I'm a success. Man, I beat the odds. You are more than a conqueror. Yes, and no weapon that's been formed against you has been able to prosper. I win in every situation. I'm no longer going to label myself or announce to you my survival. I will announce to you today that I am a success. That's a great place to be. I want every person that is stuck in survival mode. You got to change today. You got to make a difference. You got to change the way you announce and present yourself. When I'm announced now and I'm presented to the public, I don't want them seeing all the ugly stuff I've been through. No, I want them to see me for who I am today. I am a success, but I got to change that. I got to change that within my own language to myself. I got to say that to myself, that I am a success. When I can't find no one else to encourage me, I must learn to encourage myself in the Lord and say, after all the things that I've been through, I'm still here. I am a success. Now, I don't know what arena you've had to succeed in. You know, some of you had to fight through some horrible times. And I was just thinking about some of the things I failed in. And I said, man, you know what? I failed at this, I failed at that. But just the other day, I thought about my fatherhood. I thought about me being a father. And I said, Lord, let me take a moment and celebrate that I've been a good father. That's my legacy. And I want you to learn to celebrate your mile markers, things that you've done right. Don't just sit there and count up the things that you've done wrong. Change the way that you look at your own life. Master your life by highlighting your successes. I've been good at this. Yes, maybe it may not mean much to someone else, but I've done this well. So today, I want you to get to the place of success. Change that survival thinking to success today. But that's not the last juncture. The next juncture that you got to get to is being significant. Are you being significant? What does that mean? My success now should impact someone else's life. Are you using your success to help someone get to a place of success? Maybe someone is in survival mode. Maybe they've gone through abuse or damage. They've been through a place of mental battles, or just depressed, or in a place of emotional dissatisfaction. I don't know where they may be, but whatever they've gone through, even financial setbacks, if you have done that and you've survived it and succeed now, your next juncture is to tell them that they can do it too. Be significant. Who are you helping with your story? Your success story is greater than survival. You didn't just make it, but you made it back to the top. So be significant and share that with someone else. You're making it happen for others. That is what significance is all about. Now in Jeremiah chapter 13 and verse 23, he asks a question. Can an Ethiopian change the color of his skin? Can a leopard take away his spots? Neither can you start doing good, for you've always done evil. Man, this is a tight scripture to read, but it has some relevance in it. Jeremiah asks a probing question. Can an Ethiopian change the darkness of his skin and lighten it? That's impossible. Can a leopard change his spots? And then he goes on to say, if you've been practicing evil for so long, can you now do something good? Well, the truth is we cannot change on our own. We got to make up our mind we want to change. But we got to get to a place where we employ the power of God to bring about change. I cannot change my past. I cannot change what I've done or even look like in the past. I can't change my history, but I can change my destiny. Yes, I can't change what I've already made mistakes with, but I can change what I do from this day forward. I will not live in a place of just repeating the same old mistakes because I'm stuck within myself saying, this is what I do and this is how I am. No, I can get better. I can make the necessary changes. And I'm going to admonish you to do the very same thing. Stop talking about what you cannot do and think about what you can do with the power of God, with the power of the Holy Spirit. With Christ, through him, we can do all things. I can change today, and I'm making changes on purpose. I'm making changes on purpose. Someone once said this, you will not change until the pain of remaining the same outweighs the pain of change. Do you get what I'm saying? That it's so painful for me to stay the way I am, and not only am I painful or being pain with it, but I'm causing pain for others if I remain this way. So I'll take the pain of change, because the pain of remaining the way I am is paining me, is hurting me, and is hurting everybody around me. So today, we got to make up our minds, man, I won't stay like this. It's hurting me, it's destroying me, and consequently, I'm destroying lives around me. And the pain of remaining the same is now outweighing the pain of change. Well, there are several places you got to make up your mind that you got to endure to get to your place of change. The first one is you got to get to the place where you understand that change comes with a challenge. Change comes with a challenge. That's the first step. It's challenging the change, because it's challenging your old thoughts, your old ways. It may challenge your environment. Some of us, we would change, but we keep hanging around the same people. The Bible says that bad company corrupts good manners. Bad company corrupts good manners. You want to change, but you keep hanging around the same old people. People that influence you to stay where you are. They condone it. They co-sign it. And they like to co-sign it because they like to commiserate with you and make you feel like that what you do is fine. It's challenging to get around people who say to you that you're wrong, that you shouldn't be doing it like that. You should have matured to be in a better place by now. It's challenging your comfort level. It challenges you because with every change that you're going to have to make in growth comes discomfort. And this is why so many people don't like to change, because change is uncomfortable. Now, let me tell you, I'm going through this little weight loss thing. Now, I battle with this from time to time, because when I get to a certain place, I see myself getting to a size I don't want to be. It's not just for aesthetics, but for my health as well. But until I get to the place where I'm willing to do and eat the things and exercise, which is not comfortable, not always comfortable. I like desserts, but I got to get to the place where I'm willing to resist that. And it's always uncomfortable. But change comes along with challenges. Secondly, change is making a choice. If you're going to make some changes in your life, you got to decide to do it for yourself. You can't wait until someone tells you, man, listen, I see where you need to make changes. Well, that's going to happen. People always look from the outside, seeing you from another perspective, but it really is not impactful until you make a choice to change. You got to make a decision. It's on you to decide. No one else can change you. No one else can make you better. It's going to be your choice. Many of us, we could change from sadness to joy. It's going to be your choice. Can I tell you, no one's responsible for your happiness. No one's responsible for your peace. So change that today and stop making people responsible for the things you need to make a choice about. You're living on the weight of your choices. You live with the consequences of your choices. If you choose to remain where you are, sad, codependent, low self-esteem, or in a rut because of someone else's life, then you need to change that today and take charge of your life by making a choice. I choose, now get this, I choose me. That's a choice. Yes, I'm not going to wait for you to choose me. I choose me. Make that choice. Change your codependency. Change your low self-esteem and make a choice to do something different for yourself. Thirdly, but this is important right here, change also comes with taking chances. It's risky. It's risky. What if I make a change and it doesn't work? Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you're making changes, it's not immediate results that you're going to get. But you got to be willing to be in it for the long haul. It may not be immediate, repercussions or results, but guess what? You'll see it over time. I'm taking a risk and I'll see the results. I'm changing for the better. And that's what you got to make up your mind. I will see the results if I am changing for the better. But it's risky. It's risky. It's taking a chance. I got to take a chance to do what I've never done before. I got to do things that I'm unfamiliar with. I got to go places that challenge me to stretch. I got to take risks. And I got to get around people that stretch me. It's risky. It's taking a chance. And some of us, you're stuck in a place of hurt, pain, disgust, failure, or even, things didn't work out the way you wanted in a relationship. And I've heard people say this all the time, I'm done with that. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never give no one my heart again. But if you're going to live a great life, you got to take some great chances. Just because you fell down don't mean that you need to stay down. The Bible tells us that in Proverbs 24. A just man falleth down 7 times. He takes the chance to get up again. I may fall again, but it beats me staying down. So I may fall down again, but it beats me staying down if I get up. Lastly today, let me give you this last point. You gotta be committed. Change, again, may not be immediate, but I'm committed to the process. I'm committed to see this thing through the end. And if nobody else around me makes the necessary changes, I'll make them for myself. My circle, my people, my family, my friends may not be able to support my commitment. And that's why your commitment has to be personal. No one can see what you're after, what you're going after, what you're trying to do, but you. But guess what? You got to be so committed that, Lord, I got to change. I want things in my life to change, not just for me, but for my children, for generations to come. I'm changing not just for my betterment, but those that are connected to me. I'm changing from being selfish to me being one that will help others. I'm changing from having bad responses or bad reactions because I'm tired of the consequences of that. And I got to stay committed. Just because nothing around me is changing, so the people that I'm doing better toward may not make the change as well. But I got to be committed because it's not about them, it's about me. I go the extra mile, not for them, but I go for me. I made the choice. I'm making the commitment to stay in my lane, to do what God has called me to do, and to be what God has called me to be. I don't care how many people are hating. I don't care how many people walk in animosity, unforgiveness, without love and peace. I'm making a commitment to change. I will not match your energy. I will not equal this ground to come down the way you are. It took me too long. It took me too much to get here. Too many sacrifices, too many prayers, too many tears, too many changes. I will commit, and I hope you're doing the same thing. I'm committing to stay high, even when they go low. This got to be a commitment. It don't take nothing to get down and get dirty, but you got to be committed to stay on high ground. Today, I hope this word helps encourage somebody, because change is so necessary as you go into the next season, and we are there. I believe that God is walking us and ushering us in to something brand new, but you will not be able to maximize it if you're not willing to change. Now, what is it about you that you can really internalize and say, you know what? I'm doing an introspection today. I'm doing personal reflection. What can I change to make this season a success? Well, today, that's your homework. You got to go inside yourself and examine yourself and say, you know what, man, I can do something different that will make my life so much better. I got to change some stuff. All of us know what those things are. So today I challenge you to personally take inventory of yourself. Don't look at nobody else. Take a look inside and make those changes. Well, that's enough for today. And I just want to thank God for you sharing with us in this masterclass. It is so powerful to be able to come to you. And I'm so privileged to come to you and share something I hope that will help you master your life. Well, beloved, after hearing this word today, there may be someone here that needs to surrender your life to Christ. Or you may be looking for a place to fellowship and find a great church family. Or maybe you need encouragement daily. There's a number on the screen. You can tap in the word or type in the word and text it in. Saved if you want to be saved. Connect if you want a church home. Or daily if you need a word daily for daily devotion. Last but not least, we are praying every morning at 7:14 a.m. I'd like for you to join us as we start every day off, every day, 7 days a week, looking at the majesty of the morning, God's great creation, and putting God first in our prayer life. As we start every day off, 7:14, I invite you to share with us. Friends, I hope again that you have enjoyed this masterclass. And before you check off today, maybe want to share a love gift, an offering, your tithes with this ministry to help us and support us as we go forward for the kingdom. Again, I'm here today to help teach this masterclass to help you master your life. Because if you don't master life, life will master you. And today I want to tell you, I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next time.